Hello, hello, welcome to 1111 True Crime. I can't talk. Mercury retrograde. Welcome to 1111 True Crime. I've got swollen lymph nodes still, so I have a thick throat, like it hurts. But I'm going to come on and see how I do. I want to be able to share some things with everybody, but I have to say my humblest apologies for last night. I wasn't aware that I had scheduled it for Liam Payne's video, and so that had been pre-scheduled. The live had been pre-scheduled well before I was sick, and I forgot about it. So bad on me. I got up and I was reading my emails and everybody's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So just so you know, I will be doing that tomorrow. Well, my tomorrow. It'll be later tonight for you. It'll be 12 hours from now. So whatever that is. But I will be doing a Liam Payne video. Now, I want to get into the Jay Slater case a little bit. And in this, I want you to really think about how important certain key elements are to the case. Now, when it comes to Jay Slater, 19-year-old goes to Tenerife, first time on holiday alone with friends, goes to an NRG festival, 3 days, and then goes up into the Masca mountains because he either, depending on what story you go with, according to the man he was with, Ayub, quack, quack, whisper, Baker, you know who I mean, okay? He either lost his key and so he couldn't get back in and had nowhere to stay, so Ayub helped the man out, okay? He wanted to go on partying, is what we've been told by others, that he wanted, he wanted to go on partying, but my son didn't, so he came home from Rach, right? Okay. And then there's all these stories, but it always in the narrative is that Jay Slater went to the Airbnb and that's why he was found over a cliff because, just like he just walked off in the middle of the day off a cliff, which none of us can accept because while I was sick, I watched Looney Tunes, all the stuff you do when you're a kid when you're sick. And even the Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner stopped when there was a cliff, right? I mean, yeah, they'd run off, pew, right? But you know what I'm saying? This isn't a cartoon. This is real life. No one is just going to run off like, "Oh, there's nowhere to go after this. I can't stop. I'm just going to..." And so they run off the cliff. But what if the most important part of the whole story, why Jay would be found in Masca, is all fake? What if there is no Airbnb? What if there was never an Airbnb? That's what we're going to be talking about. And why would I even ask that? And what makes me think that that wasn't Airbnb? Let's get into it together. Let me say hello to a few of my beautiful, beautiful folks here with me. Just grab some random. Kate, hello. How are you? Sharon, hello. Good to see you. Knickknacks, good to see you. Angela, Michelle, Claire, Gail, good to see you all. And for all that waited for me last night, I am so sorry. I had no idea. I'm still trying to feel better and get with it. And so I'm going to take it slow and go day by day. But it was just a bug. Just a bug. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning. Hi, officially Carrie George. Hello to you. And Freckles. I want to say a special thank you to my mods that are up late. We've got Jennyville, Debbie, and Rach. Not that Rach. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for modding at this time for you. I know it's not an easy time to mod, and so with that in mind, we're going to do it tomorrow in the middle of the day for the mods so that they get a breather, and they don't have to get up in the middle of the night to do this. So thank you. So I want to talk first of all about this whole concept that Ayub is going to stay in a place like that little Airbnb. Okay, even the little shitty pictures that they showed, there's just no way. And I think, don't quote me, but I believe it was Haley Comet that brought up the fact that Ayub stays around in 4- and 5-star hotels surrounded by ladies, rockets, right? Drinking the finest alcohol that you can get your hands on. And he also brushes elbows with a lot of famous people. Truthfully, I mean, credit where credit's due. He knows Potter Paper. He knows Charlie Sloth. He knows Big Narsty, because these shops are all right there, and that's what these people are doing there. So he's got a little bit of a taste of the finer things of life. So it always bothered me about the Airbnb. Then you have to think about it. Ayub's the only one that's ever left a review on that location. You're telling me that nobody even left a review that said this place sucked or this place was beautiful? Not once? I just find that really strange. So let's go ahead. Let's jump over. Let me get everything rolling here. Do I have PowerPoint on? Yeah. Okay, you guys. Let's get over here to the idea, what if there was never an Airbnb at all? Meaning that the whole narrative falls apart, basically. Now, let's look at Ayub for a minute. I've got this like really outside video, and let me make sure and mute it. Well, actually, I think they're just talking. If they start playing music, though, I'll mute it.
Yeah, man. Really outside, baby. Hosting what? The Filthy Free Tour. Artist of the Year.
Okay, first of all, that is a deck of cards he has in his hand. That Potter has in the picture in his hand. Because it took me, I had to rewind because I'm like, what is he pointing at her? I thought it was a pew-pew. And so it's a deck of cards. He has some sort of I think he has the cards out and she has the money. Like my poker face, right? Okay. Just saying. That threw me a little bit.
Artist of the Year. Mobo says it all. It's real, man. Let me go show you around. Yeah, man, we got nothing but members in the cut right now. Tell them who you are, bro.
Come on, broski. You know what then? GW shit.
Groundworks. Can't wait to try these for breakfast.
So you got the paper pops. Then you got the Potsies. And it's all on play on Potter paper. Yeah. I do have a lot of cough medicine in. Now I got antibiotics in me. Aw, officially Carrie George. Thank you for that $2 snooper chat. Let me get chat penned. Where's my mouse? Good morning, Gail. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you, officially Carrie George. All right, you guys. Good morning, Vicky. Okay, you guys, let's roll. Let's roll.
Yes.
Oh. Just so you know, Ayub's going to show up in part of this video. And it gives you an idea of the life he's used to. Because we're going to be checking out why I honestly believe there was never an Airbnb involved. I don't think there was an Airbnb.
Shit, we got the Potsies.
Yeah, the Potsies.
Pot of Crispies, man.
No, that's all.
It's going, man.
Jerk chicken with rice and peas sounds good to me. And it says, thanks for hating. Hating. Hating.
Just go in, man.
It's one of their sayings.
None
Thanks
but
for
members
hating.
in the cut. CG.
This guy bothers me, right? Is he a bodyguard? Look, he's always got his hand behind his back. He's probably just holding on to his junk, but it just looks like he's hiding something, doesn't it? That's why I stay single. I'm always suspicious of everybody.
What do you mean? Members only shit.
Okay, now we got the babes, the rockets, the hotties, right? Who's this? Who's this doing the little gang sign? His favorite little gang sign.
Don't piss me off, blood. You know how we do.
Do you know that person? Let's look at him again.
CG, what do you mean? Members only shit. You me, blood. Don't piss me off, blood. You know how we do. Yeah, man.
Does that girl know she has a giant hole in that shirt? She should throw that away. It's showing her cleavage. Renee says, same, I had to set my alarm to wake me up for this live. We're going to switch it. We're going to go back, but I'm going to do it to where it's noon for me, which will be 6 p.m. for everybody else tomorrow. Well, not everybody, but you know what I'm saying. I'll give you a baseline. Aw, Janie Burns, thank you, lovely, for that snooper chat. Thank you, hon. Hey, Jenny G, how you doing? Thank you, Janie. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, Wax Unfiltered gave Mama D a little shout out today, and I really, really appreciated that. That was so kind. Thank you, Wax. And he also gave Duncan Smith a shout out. And I want to do the same. I want to give Wax a shout out. And though I don't have anything to share of Wax's, go watch his latest video. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, over here on Duncan, though, he is a mastermind linguist. I say he's a mastermind. That's my opinion. Fantastic job. And so his information has a longer shelf life because it's actual information. What do I mean by that? His information that he discovers might have been a month ago, but he put an intense amount of work and effort into it, and then it comes up and all of a sudden it matters. So what he works on now, some of us all understand it now, and then as more information comes in and the picture kind of starts taking focus, this little bit from Duncan will help. I think he's a really informative character. I really do, and I greatly appreciate his work, as well as Marvin. Thank you, Marvin, from Streamline Entertainments. So let's get over real quick and let's look at what Duncan had to say about Roman, who owns the Airbnb that Jay allegedly spent his last few breaths at before he allegedly just ran off in the middle of the day off a cliff, right? Let's listen. But before we do, I want you to think about this. Okay. If I had a record of every time I sold a car, the last 2 or 3 times I sold a car, that it was well known that I sold a lemon and it didn't work for the person, right? There's no trust there. Then why, if it became so suspicious that I was pulling that again, would it be so unfathomable that I'd be pulling the same stunt over again with even more of a motive for some reason. So what I'm saying is, if what Duncan is explaining to us, if I'm understanding it correctly, Roman, the owner of the Airbnb that Jay stayed at, has faked that he owns Airbnbs all over the place, and he uses the same photograph for each one, which then got reported, I believe, by Duncan. Okay? And so he must have been addressing it, because all of a sudden, 2 of the Airbnbs that are not real disappear. And so Roman loses 2 properties just like that. Okay? So what Duncan's suggesting is that it's a front. All right? So if it's already working as a front to clean your money, do a little wash, right? And wash some money in some manner, then it could work really, really good to say that that's where a victim went. However, if a real crime took place, the last thing you're going to do is send everybody in the direction that the real crime took place. You're going to send them over there where the phone pings last. And so at 7:10 to 7:30 is the exact time that a lot of people hypothesize is when the blanket photo in front of the Airbnb took place. They guess by the sunlight or the light or something. I don't know. Shadows. I have no idea. But they hypothesize that it's early in the morning before the sun is fully up and so forth and blah, 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 and 7:10 to 7:30. That is vital. Critical, because that is also the time that the white car shows up in front of the Airbnb. It's also the exact same time that we have Ayub saying he's told to move his car. If he isn't even staying in an Airbnb, if it's nothing more than a place where they pulled up and took a snapshot in a white car, well, did we basically get them in their white car, pulling up, parking there, while they're gathering their phone information, and Masca be nothing but the phone? And there never be an Airbnb. Ayub booked it a couple hours before he needed it? But yet he's used to 5-star hotels. It doesn't work. Now, let's go ahead and take a look what Duncan says without further ado.
A minor victory, I need to report, a minor victory, and that is last night when I checked on Airbnb's site, Roman had removed 2 of his properties. So, if you remember, he had the same set of photos advertising 3 different properties. Airbnb have, I believe, made him change that, and so now he has lost 2 of his Airbnb properties. He's now taken 2 from his own Mampe rent site, put them on Airbnb with the correct photos, so he's straightened that out. Minor victory, because I want him removed from Airbnb. I want this whole front that he has pretending to be Airbnb guy, when in fact it's a means of laundering money and handling his narco business. I want him removed from Airbnb, but we're not there yet. So minor victory, he's lost 2 of his Airbnb portfolios, but I am following up, because now when you go to his home site, Mampe Rent, he does have 3 properties that when you click on them, it takes you to Airbnb, but you can't get onto the actual property listing. You go to what I call the landing page of Airbnb, and that's it. You can't then book anything.
So if Roman has a history which is current, that's his MO of creating a fake Airbnb, then why would we choose to believe an ex-convict and disgraced mayor that there's an Airbnb there. What are we going to take Ophelia's word for it? Somebody proved to me that that was a B&B before Jay Slater went missing, because I don't believe it was. And without the Airbnb, all we have is a white car up there at the exact time that it's being alleged that the blanket photo was taken. I find that very, very peculiar. Hey, Day in the Life of Penny, how are you? Free Falling is here. 26 months as a starlight. Thank you, my dear. I so greatly appreciate you. Thank you, Free Falling. And I've missed you. It has been a while. Jennifer Swain is here. Look at all of you. You guys are so incredible. You really are. So we're going to try it tomorrow and see if giving the mods a little breather and letting them get some sleep. So I'll be on at noon tomorrow with the Liam Payne case, and it'll be around 6 o'clock p.m. or 1800 hours in the UK and Spain, I believe. Hey, Janie Burns, who wants to stay in an Airbnb with no hot water, air conditioning, go to Tenerife 3 times a year. I sure wouldn't. Right. I mean, seriously. So, Jay Slater goes missing. I want you to listen to this guy. And laws start getting changed over there in Tenerife. Thank you to the 1111 family member, our true crime family member that sent me this. Our 1111 true crimer, right? I appreciate the link.
Hello, everyone, and good morning from a beautiful...
I have to chuckle because this guy sounds like Good Morning Vietnam, right?
Los Cristianos here in Tenerife. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous day, and it is now the 1st of December. So, if you are new to the channel, a big welcome. I am Andrew. I do live here in Tenerife. I've been here for 10 years now, and if you are returning back, a big welcome. Special new...
Sorry, guys. I hit the video.
Hello, everyone, and good morning from a beautiful Los Cristianos here in Tenerife. It is here in Tenerife. I've been here for 10 years now, and if you are returning back, a big welcome. Special new law that is coming into place from tomorrow, the 2nd of December. There are some changes and requirements when checking in to hotels and accommodations. I have had tons and tons of messages.
Oh, how interesting. New laws, if you are a hotel or an Airbnb or any of those little places that somebody can stay at, now they have to have basically everything but your blood type. They've got to have your home address. They have to have your phone number. And there's going to be fines eventually for those that don't do it. And it just got passed without even going up before any board or anything from what I'm hearing. It just literally, the government just said, as of tomorrow, this is the way it's going to be. There's no red tape, nothing, just overnight.
Comments, can you explain it? Can you do a video? So I was happy to jump on and just run through it all with you. It is quite controversial, this one, so you're going to have to let me know in the comments. There's been a lot of concern from hotels and hotel groups. Some people are saying it's a good idea. A lot of people are saying it's definitely not. So you are going to have to let me know in the comments, once I've explained everything, what you think about it, and will it affect you visiting Spain, Canary Islands, Tenerife? Will it put you off? Will it change anything that you do? Absolutely not. You want my details, fine, as long as you don't leak them, you don't send me all the nonsense. The other people's side of it, especially in this day and age, everyone is very protective of their information, protective of their data. They will literally, you'll show your passport, they'll stamp it, and away you go. So in terms of the airport, that will still stay pretty smooth. The only change you might see is with the hotels asking you to fill in this little bit of a form,
It's just
but it's only what they would have on their system anyway.
Hotels.
Given has criticised the government for ignoring repeated requests for consultation, not only from its members, but also from international tourists.
So the tourist industry, the boards, are having a holy field day fit because they weren't asked for their input. This was just stamped on them. Let's go over and listen to this other part. I grabbed the ending as well, but I grabbed it in 2 different videos. Let me show you this. This is kind of interesting.
Government side of it as well, they're trying to clamp down on proper, we're talking big criminal gangs here. We're not talking, you know, little bits and bobs. We're talking big organised crime, you know, drug trafficking, people trafficking, proper big criminals, I think is what they're trying to catch and look out for. In terms of all little petty crimes and people with criminal records and things, I don't think that's really what they're looking for. They're looking for real big organised crime that they can try and break down and catch people out staying in hotels or something like that. So you can see their side of it. They're trying to protect us and terrorists, things like that. But you can also see other people's side of it, especially in this day and age. Everyone is very protective of their information, protective of their data, worried about...
It really, really makes you wonder, right? About the fake Airbnbs. And now the hotel rules. So that they can't, it's almost like these rules are being put into place so that they can't be fake like that. I don't know. What are your thoughts? What do you think? Aw, Jennifer Swain. Thank you, lovely. Thank you. You say, I hope you got snow. We never get any. I'm going to send you some. I've only got a dusting myself, but I'll share it. In fact, you can have it all. All of it. Jenny with the G says, I thought we had to do all that anyway. I mean, unless it wasn't required, but now it's a law. Not sure. Debbie says, love you, Jennifer. For snow for you. Praying for snow. Hi, Allison Steed. How are you? Good morning, Elizabeth and Violet. Good to see you all. All right, you guys, listen to me. I'm going to leave you with a couple thoughts here, because we're going to be digging into this whole thing a lot better. Roman, the owner of the Airbnb, allegedly, because we don't even know what it really is, has proven himself to be faking Airbnbs that aren't real as covers. We've got Ayub, who's an ex-convict. Rocky, too, I believe, to the best of my knowledge. Okay? Why would the Airbnb have to be real? We have no proof of it. Yet they repainted it. They remodeled it. Right before the police came in. Did all of a sudden they need it to look like it could have been rented? Because they had told so much and it had gotten bigger. And now Ellie need to come in and they got the word. And they're like, oh crap. Let's turn this, spider web infested little place where we hide all our, wash money into what looks to be like an Airbnb. I know. Go out to that tea hut, Ophelia, and grab yourself some of those PG tips, and we'll make a little area here that looks like a tea center and all this, and we'll make it look kind of decent. It doesn't really have to be rented. We just now need to prove it's Airbnb, right? So, if that really isn't an Airbnb, and if it never was, there goes a whole narrative. That would mean Brad would be lying, Lucy, Rocky, Ayub, and Ophelia, the 5 little liars. That's what it would mean. All of them have one cohesive key, I believe, and that's work related. I don't think Ophelia is going to be like, oh yeah, I'm supporting the kids, like I'm lying for them. It's work related. Ayub, work related. I think this is all work related. There's no friendship with Ayub and Lucy. You don't see them hanging out. You don't see Brad and Ayub. We don't even have a picture of Brandon and Ayub. So I don't buy the whole friend thing. Ayub doesn't have friends. He has flying monkeys, right? That go do his bidding. So if this was all friends, then somebody would have probably talked. Because somebody is not going to want to take the rap that has hardly done anything to just say, yeah, I was over here and I got a call, or I saw him get in the car. They're not going to put themselves on camera and plan all this for a friend. Yeah, I was with him right up until he disappeared, and then that was all I know. No. So at this point, we have to look at Ayub, and we have to look at Ophelia, and we have to look at Brad, Lucy, and Rocky. What do they all have in common? And I don't have the actual answer. I'm just suggesting it could be employment. And that could make it very much more difficult to stray off the narrative if there's a big bad boss at play here. Just a thought. One that can pull a string, such as Roman being a string. Pull a favor. Do a solid for you, right? Roman. So, I mean, is it quinky dink that is the exact time that this white car pulls up in front of this same Airbnb as the blanket photo allegedly is taken? I don't think so. In fact, how did that car miss Jay standing there smoking? Unless it wasn't Jay and it was somebody that was in the vehicle. They stayed for a few minutes to be seen by maybe Ophelia or to pull some shenanigan off, and then they hightailed it out of there. I don't know. What do you guys think? Angela says, yes, I can see the positive aspects, but I'm worried about my freedoms. Right. Jamie, you are so right. Airbnb looks more like a rundown shack. So, we're going to look at this real quick before I go. A couple more things. We'll make it a little longer since I screwed up last night for you guys. Let's get back over to PowerPoint. I want you to look at this for a minute. So here's the problem with this picture. Now we're going to shrink this down. We'll talk about that in a jiff. Let's look at this little picture. This is of Jay's phone pings, right? Here's my problem. If this is a screenshot of Jay's phone, it would not say Jay Slater. So if this was a screenshot, you have two different screenshots, a phone screenshot, right? Of Jay screenshotting it, of his GPS and sending it, then right there, it's not going to say Jay Slater. It's not going to say my name. It's going to say me. It's going to say M-E, right? All right, now, let's say it's not. Let's say it's the actual app that I've connected to through GPS. And you've logged on to the same app, and you can see through your own phone me pinging up on that app, okay? the problem would be, for me, is that where's Jay Slater's name on the left? Who's that? That's the me picture. So how would you get the me picture? It doesn't work. It's one way or the other. And in this case, these contradict each other if I'm making any sense to anybody. So basically, if this is a screenshot of Jay's phone, it would never say Jay Slater. It would say me. And if it's not a screenshot, if you're logging onto the app, so it would say Jay Slater, and I'm looking on my phone to see where you are on my app, right? Then where is the words Jay Slater, the name Jay Slater, on the first one? So it's almost as if we actually have a screenshot the first time, and then they're looking it up on an app after, and that could be. But it's really, really confusing. There's something wrong here. There's no date, which is weird. But let me flip this back over. I've got it backwards. I've showed this before, but it's very applicable at this time. So if you look how crappy that emoji is, and this is a different one. That's what it's supposed to look like, is orange. Look at all that shadowing. You don't see it on the right one, that one. So if the Airbnb, hypothetically, was a front and not an Airbnb at all, they would need to come up with a new way to make it look like Jay Slater had been there. And the only way to do that would be his phone. And that's all we have in the area. So now the big question is for all of us to ponder is if Jay Slater didn't go to Masca at all, never went to Masca, and by the way, prove to me he was ever found in Masca. There's no footage, there's no proof, nothing. They blocked that mountain off. They sent rumors through the entire time when the game was on and all that he had been found. And then they came out and said, yep, we found him over there. They wouldn't even disclose to the parents of Jay Slater where they had found him. And we have dogs that, one, if they track Jay Slater from the Airbnb, they're scent dogs, not cadaver dogs. So they're tracking a living, breathing person's scent, which is easy as taking anything that Jay ever owned, including his own phone, or his shoe, or a sock, or anything you want, or a blanket you use, and walking at some point from the Airbnb right over to the edge of the cliff. And then just leaving. Okay? All right, now, if it's a cadaver dog, then was Jay demised and his body was carried from the Airbnb all the way over to the cliff and then just dropped there? So we need to understand what type of dogs are being used. But a living dog would not guarantee that that's a demised body. Either dog has got no way to do anything but stand at the top of a cliff. They can't even continue because they have nowhere to go. So, for the whole theory about the dogs track Jay Slater, they track Jay Slater's scent. How did that get achieved? If they were tracking a dead body, that's a problem because Jay wasn't dead until after he went over the cliff, right? And if they're tracking a scent, that's a problem because all they got then is a living scent of Jay Slater, which could have come from anything of his. So it'd be very easy to fake. Just saying. I don't think Jay, in any form, living or passed over, made it to Masca. I think that's a fake Airbnb. Roman's done it several times and is still doing it. And Duncan Smith, hats off to all that hard work. All right, my lovely Liz, that is what we had for now. We're going to jump over and going to do a little late night talk about that one thing in the Jay Slater case that no matter what keeps this foul play in my book. What's the one thing in your book that makes Jay Slater's case more likely foul play to you? Are you ready to jump over? You're going to do a time warp. You're going to jump onto that magic thumbnail and it will take you over there. We will start in about 21 minutes. And I sure hope that you have a wonderful day if that's where you leave me. And if you're continuing on, I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you very, very much. Please hit like, subscribe, do all the fun things. We don't need to feed the algorithm. We need to make sure we're providing great content for you as a viewer, as the audience, and as true crimers. Are we really getting anywhere? And I think we really are. I really do. Hats off to all the hard workers in Jay Slater's case. And that counts for you, too. I love you. To the moon and back. See you on the other side, lovely.